Hello everybody, and welcome along to the Canadian Grand Prix NORL F1 2018 for round number 7 of the championship. And we're coming to the end of qualifying, and it very much looks like Callum Spencer could be challenging for pole position. This would be his first pole of the season, and it'd be very surprising, and he does take pole. Very interesting play by Callum Spencer. Now, what everyone else is in terms of tyres, I do not know. It could be possible that Spen's the only one on hypersofts. I'm not sure, but let's not take it away for a minute. Assuming that he's gone on the correct tyres, then he will start. He's on the same tyres as everyone else. So on raw pace, Callum J. Spencer takes pole position around Canada. His first pole in NORL F1. I believe he lines up ahead of Chaza in P2, Nibbler P3 for the Ferrari 2-3. Danny Ibn Lahar P4, Testameister P5, meaning it is Ferrari, Renault, and Glatsko 2, good result in P6. P7 is Ragnar 184, then Dougie Aframan, so the Rebels separating the Saubers, and then it's Ryan, Destes, Lord George, Beamer Black, Seppi, who is new to the league, and Kevin Jacobs, and Super Ryan disconnects again, so I'm not sure if he is... Not sure if he is going to be able to make the race start or not. So, we get ready to go racing at round number 7, Canada. Typically an understeery circuit, cars running reduced downforce setups to get the most out of the straight lines. Now, I'm not sure what setups everybody are running, but they will have to choose out of 5 of the presets, which include no downforce, reduced downforce, balanced, increased downforce, and top downforce. So, as we get away for our formation lap, we sit in hope that this will be better than, of course, the real Formula 1 Canadian Grand Prix, which we saw earlier this season was dominated by Ferrari. Can the Ferraris get past that Force India, make it happen again? For the sake of the show, we hope not. We hope to see a battle, but not dominant. And as you can see, no Subaru Ryan in between Dougie Aframan and Destes. So if the Red Bull's going to make the start or not, we're not sure. Now, 2 feisty drivers to fight off has Callum Spencer. Pretty surprising. A pole position coming out of nowhere in only his second NORL F1 race. So mighty effort from the Northern Lights Racing esports driver, driving for Force India this season alongside Destes. So Force India, very interesting point, just to point out that Force India in NORL F1 is made up of 2 separate esport organization drivers. You have the Northern Lights Racing esports driver of Callum J. Spencer, who will be lining up a position. And then you have Destes down in P10, who is a TBD Esport junior driver. So these guys bring a lot of experience, potentially for different series, into this league. Callum J. Spencer, of course, showing his might in NORL. Never won a championship, though, but he looks to rectify that, at least by taking a race win this season. He's a bit late in the season to challenge for the championship, but looking to take his first victory. But he's got to fight off 2 feisty Ferraris behind him to do it. So let us line up on the grid and get ready for the Canadian Grand Prix. So here we go then. Turn up your volume and enjoy. Lights down, away we go, and it looks immediately better start out of the front row, and Callum Spencer loses his pole position immediately and hits Chaza up the rear, loses a bit of his front wing. Not a good start for the Welshman. All going wrong as Nibbler now will look to make it a Ferrari 1-2 going into the next downhill corner, and he will let the Ferrari through. So disasters. We have a yellow flag, and the other Force India of Destes goes spinning out into the wall in the background there. Who is he caught up with? It looks like it could be Murcielago. One Force India getting a terrible start, the other being taken out completely. Bad start for Force India here at the Canadian Grand Prix as Callum Spencer loses another position to Danny Ibn Lahar. Really bad start for Force India. It's gone all to pot in just a matter of corners for Force India, and immediately we have a Toro Rosso attacking. Now we have a yellow flag in Sector 2. Why is that? That's because Beamer Blacks had a spin. Meanwhile, we can see Lord George making a move on Dougie Aframan. Dougie Aframan now has the outside corner and will be able to fight that off. Is Nibbler going to make a move on his teammate? No, not close enough. So the battle very much is Dougie Aframan versus Lord George UK. DRS Open pulls to the outside. Now we have yellow flags in Sector 3. Have we had another off? We're looking for it. I can't see it. Meanwhile, Ragnar looking to make the move on Callum Spencer to drop him out of the top 5. Well, he'll still be into the top 5, but looking to drop him out of the top 4. Ragnar will go for the switchback, last week's race winner on the ultra soft tyre compared to the pole sitter on the hyper soft tyre. Will he send it? No, he will not. Meanwhile, Testermeister hanging around in the background as well, looking to get a little bit interesting. Apologies for that, we had some technical difficulties regarding the PlayStation Party dropping out. We've had that more than once this season. PlayStation Party is always reliable, but we did just see a Renner go into the wall there on the exit, so a bit of understeer. Looks like it cost him a little bit. Meanwhile, Callum Spencer gets a pretty rough exit out of the hairpin. Going to put him under pressure from Ragnar. 184 down the back straight. Got his DRS wide open, less than 2/10 of a second separates them now. He'll pull to the inside. Will he get the move done? How hard will Callum Spencer fight this? Not very hard at all. Gives the position away. Now he's going to come under pressure from the Renault Testermeister. Almost immediately looking to drop Callum Spencer out of the top 5, and it couldn't have gone much worse here for Force India. Looking for a move, nowhere to go with it on the start of this Grand Prix. But he's got another few corners to come up, and it looks like Callum Spencer struggling for pace in these early laps. Meanwhile, another person struggling for pace seems to be Nibbler. He's been hounded down by Danny Ibn Lahar. What a drive from Danny. He's really struggled to make some of the races this season, but looking to try get on with a job where he can, while he can. Out the next corner we come, we have Testermeister still looking for an opportunity to get past Callum Spencer. Nothing doing on this occasion. We have Seppi in the Williams, new to the league, not making an impression down in 12th place with the Red Bull gaining DRS on him. Into the hairpin we come on lap number 3. Danny Ibn Lahar looking for something. Ragnar going a little bit wide. Callum Spencer going a little bit wide. That's going to set up the Renault nicely down this back straight with DRS. The Force India should get DRS on Ragnar too. He's just within range, which will allow Callum Spencer to pull him along with it. Nothing doing. Lord George looking a little bit feisty behind Dougie Aframan, weaving this way and that way, almost pushing him through the last chicane. Good run from Lord George, looking for a way past in his slipstream, looking to the outside potentially for a move on the super soft tyres. Going to go all the way around the outside, which turns to the inside. If he could keep his nose there, he couldn't. But now he's made contact with Dougie Aframan. That could have been a lot worse, but luckily gets away with it. They both luckily get away with it. Zanel Tanovic looks to get involved as well. Meanwhile, Danny Ibn Lahar still pressuring the Ferrari of Nibbler on this particular occasion. So we can now take a deep breath and analyse the tyres. Now, top 3 on Hypersoft, so really the man in the driver's seat is Ragnar on the ultra-soft tyres once more. But what's Danny Ibn Lahar going to do in the chicane? Is he going to send it? No, he's not. He's just going to wait and follow Nibbler through. Maybe an opportunity with DRS, but he hits the wall again. That's going to ruin any exit he would have had. Will the other Renner have a better chance? There's Lord George going side by side with Anel Tanovic. Anel looking like he's making the move in the hairpin. Can he hold it though? It's going to be tough. They're going to drag down the straight. Who gets DRS in this particular one? It's going to be Lord George with a DRS. So Lord George should have advantage here going down the straight. You can see he just pulls ahead of Lord George, cuts back across, and there's a little bit of contact there. And Daniel struggles to make skin. Lord George almost drifts into the wall of champions. So we can see Seppi and Murcielago is the next battle on track. Murcielago has the inside line, Seppi outside line. Who's going to hold this? Because Seppi has the inside for the next, but he won't stick his nose in. He'll hold it off and subdue the position to Lamborghini Murcielago, as they call him in the Red Bull. Meanwhile, Callum Spencer being hounded down by the Renault continuously now by Testameister, and he's gone wide, and that's going to give Testameister a lovely run. He doesn't need a second invitation because he's already got the RS, and Callum Spencer, the man who started on pole position, is missing the left side of his front wing. You can see there. Now he started on pole position. His teammate crashed out on the first lap, and he's just dropped like a fly. So it's really not gone well. Meanwhile, the two Saubers doing battle of Dougie Aframan and Galactic Skull 2, trying to establish who's the alpha of the Alfa Romeo Sauber team. Going down the straight, I think we might be about to find out. We get ready to put our gloves on for round one. Just checking in on the top two. Subaru reporting that he doesn't know, something always happens, and it is unfortunate that Subaru left out to not race again. Danny Ibn Lahada, the man who was chasing down Nibbler, opts to pit and get his first stop out of the way. Now Galactic Skull 2 doing the same. Few guys doing the same. Few guys making the first jump, including Callum Spencer, who gets that front wing change. So that's going to drop him down the order a little bit. It'll actually drop him all the way to behind Galactic Skull 2. So, ooh, Ragnar's gone for a half spin. That will give fourth place to Testameister. Third place Testameister. Now Dougie Aframan will take P4, and he spins it, trying to get back. Now he's going the wrong way. Wow, 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 wow. Ragnar, very, very bad situation there. Really wanted to get going, but almost hit several people in doing so. Seppi looking to the inside. It's free abreast going into the chicane. That's never going to work in a month of Sundays. Danny Ibn Lahar already pitted. He doesn't need to be getting involved in this battle, but finds himself in the position anyway. Nibbler once again putting his teammate under pressure. Then this is the first real opportunity he's had all race, but not using slipstream. Looking like the Ferraris flying in formation here to secure this 1-2 and not opting to battle each other yet. With that said, Murcielago has just had a little do battle with Kevin Jacobs. Words of encouragement for Beamer Black in this race. Meanwhile, Danny Ibn Lahar up the inside of Ragnar into turn one. Good move against the Toro Rosso that had several spins on the last lap. Anatanovic finding himself closing down on Lordjaw once again. Now, where did Lordjaw gain a position back on Anatanovic, I wonder? Actually, no, that's... sorry, that's my mistake. Anatanovic didn't win that battle with DRS, did he? Down the straight. So this is a battle that's forming in the form of Danny Ibn Lahar looking to pass another driver, Murcielago. Murcielago frightened off the road as a result of that. Now we'll lose a position to the Toro Rosso. Seppi will see that with delight and close in a little bit in that relative battle. Anatanovic closing in once again, but it looks like very much Ferrari formation at the front, doesn't it? All going to plan for the prancing horses. So Anel pushing, searching for anything he can get. Danny Ibn Lahar, meanwhile, has found Kevin Jacobs. Kevin probably should fight this too hard because it is Danny Ibn Lahar on the faster tyre. Already made his stop. Kevin yet to pit, so it should be easy pickings down into turn one. Pretty much what it is. Now Ragnar will want to get a slice of the action, but Kevin Jacobs manages to survive. Doesn't get very good traction out the corner though. That's going to allow Ragnar to look to the outside. Ragnar almost shoved on the grass by Kevin Jacobs there. Hard but fair from Kevin Jacobs. Ragnar won't be best pleased as the door slammed firmly shut on his nose. Def says in the chat saying, got a bit stuck on Beamer Black's wheel and tried to pull off him, which put me into the wall. It's all good that I'm unintentional, just didn't see him. So, Defstead's admitting fault for the Beamer Black accident at the start, and like we said, couldn't have gone much worse for Sauber, for Force India at the start if it tried. However, Sauber, who we almost said wrongly, have had quite a relatively good race. Dougie Aframan running up in P4, got to score 2 in P12, already made his stop, of course. As we'll bring up the starts, we'll see who is leading in terms of the starts. Now we can see Testameister then comes into the pits, and it's going to be a double start from Renault, is it? No, it's not. Sorry, I misread. So Testameister is the next to blink and pit in the Renault, and it looks like Ultrasofts will be the tyre of choice. Looks like a 2-stop here. However, tyre wear not that big here, so they probably could get to the end on those kind of tyres. Ragnar's finally got past Kevin Jacobs. Murcielago getting involved as well. You can see Callum Spencer, obviously the big loser from pole position to 13th. Couldn't have gone much worse. Not sure what happened, but it's all gone wrong for Force India. So, with that said, the smallest gap on the track is 7/10 of a second, and it is Kevin Jacobs, Murcielago, and Seppi all following each other in a train. You ride on board with the Williams through the chicane, looking for anything. Kevin Jacobs actually found a lot of time on Ragnar through that chicane, so if the Haas will be able to get a power on down the straight, should be able to use some DRS to close the gap to Ragnar. How close he'll be remains to be seen though. So here we go, DRS opens. Closing down the gap. Closing, under 6/10. Needs to get the chicane right because Ragnar's nailed it. Kevin nails it as well. Galactic Skull 2 has passed Testomeister. Good move by Galactic Skull 2. Testomeister not really is actually positioned because they both pitted, so a very early undercut by Galactic Skull 2 has brought him into this position. Oh, big contact, just playing up hits. The back of Callum Spencer actually getting rammed off the road by Testomeister here. Very aggressive driving by the other Renault. Looking very flustered is this battle, is how I would describe it. One big fluster. Is he going to dive bomb? Hits Galactic Skull again, and this is just damaging his front wing, and Galactic Skull 2's gone into the wall. No front wing. And who's that gone now? Callum Spencer's gone. It's all Testomeister's fault, in my opinion. I'll make my feelings known straight away. Callum Spencer cuts the chicane. Not sure the reasoning in that. Now, I don't know. I'm not getting a whole good vibe about the Testomeister thing. He was very impatient. We saw it in Monaco. Very lucky, in my opinion, to escape a penalty from Monaco. Meanwhile, Seppi almost going into the back of Murcielago. He was very lucky to avoid a penalty for a similar incident in Monaco against the Saubers. And he's done it again here. So, hopefully, nothing bad comes of it. But I reckon a penalty definitely heading the Renault's way this time. Galactic Skull 2 pits. He has no choice. Not happy about what is going on in front of him whatsoever. Meanwhile, Seppi still looking for a way past Murcielago, showing patience and restraint. Good effort. Kevin Jacobs still holding on to the back of Ragnar. Ragnar not able to pull away. Anything from Seppi does not look like there's going to be anything. Danny Ibn Lahar, however, has caught up to Lord Jordan, is very close and is pretty much set up for a run. But Seppi looks like he's going to get the move done into the chicane, is he? Hard on the brakes, double front lock up. Not going to do his tyres any good, but does get him slowed down in time. Danny Ibn Lahar is going to go for a move on Lord George down the inside. Good move. Will Lord George come back? It's actually really possible, and Lord George's going to come back here. But Danny gets the DRS. Now Seppi will be the next one to follow suit. Looks like he's going to get the move done a little bit easier. Oh, no, he's not. That's not easier. That couldn't have gone much worse. Seppi out, and if there's a safety car, Nibbler's nailed the strategy. No safety car. Once again, Seppi into the wall of champions, and Canada claims its first victim. Oh my goodness. So Nibbler, during all that chaos, made his first stop at a Grand Prix. Danny Ibn Lahar closing in on Dougie Aframan. Danny's pitted, Dougie has not. At least I think I'm correct in saying that. Dougie's not, so Dougie should let this fight go. Not his battle, of course, and he probably will. Just let him through. Yeah, wise decision by Dougie Aframan. It was not his fight. He hasn't pitted yet. So, Nibbler, however, working to clear the back markers as quick as possible, and the first upon his list is Anel Tanovic. A little bit of DRS will help him in his endeavours against Chaza. Now Chaza trundling down the pit lane. Will Nibbler undercut? Be close, you know. Chaza release now. Nibbler goes, but Chaza gets the shorter run out of turn 2. Now where's it gonna be? There's Nibbler. It was close, but no cigar for the Australian. Lord George closing in on Dougie Aframan now, P2. Danny Ibn Lahar leads then. after the first stops. Very interesting. Danny Amin Lahar has thrown himself into this Grand Prix as Lord Jord, big tank slapper, almost takes himself out of the race. He's got 2 line of stern for... Ooh, what's he doing? Dougie Aframan gave him the room on the outside. Lord Jord opted not to take it, made that more difficult for everyone than it needed to be. Now the Ferraris are going to get more involved, and they'll look into the inside. Now the Mercedes could have ruined this here because he's going to lose a position to the race leader, who's up the inside, but he will have the slipstream of the Sauber to help him with a little bit of acceleration. Of course, the Ferrari on brand new tyres now gets the slipstream of the Sauber because of the natural racing line. But Nibbler's involved in this as well, getting a double slipstream, opting to just let off the front a little bit to see how this plays out. Chazza up the inside, gets the move done on Lordjo. Lordjo gets a little bit frightened as a result of that. Now Nibbler will get his opportunity to pass Lordjo. Lordjo going super defensive though. More defensive than I've ever seen, and Nibbler losing time to his teammate, not what he wants to see. Lord Jord, of course, yet to pit, as is Dougie Aframan, as Chazza looks like he's going to take his next victim. If the Sauber just trying to run his own race, really. Trying not to get involved. Nibbler passes Lord Jord once more. Oh, Nibbler missed contact with Dougie Aframan, and that could be huge implications for the race, because he lost a little bit of front wing. That could be very much an advantage for Chazza. How hard can he drive around that damage? Meanwhile, Lord Joe getting close to Dougie Aframan once again, using the chaos to bring himself into play. Now, Dougie does need to defend from Lord Jord. Dougie does need to defend from Lord Jord, because this is for position. This is for net position. Lord Jord has not pitted. And did Dougie put up enough of a fight? I'm not sure if he knows Lord Jord pitted or not, but regardless, he'll get DRS and will get the opportunity to rectify the situation as we head down to the chicane. Oh, Lord Jord cuts the chicane a lot. Lucky if he didn't get at least a corner cutting warning, I would imagine, through that situation. But Anil Tanovic not too far away in this fight either. Gialago and Tessameister are doing it off back there, but oh, we got a McLaren going very wide. That's Anil Tanovic. Just as we were speaking about him, makes a mistake on the start of lap 15. Dougie Aframan trying to stick with Lord Jord, but the ultra soft tyres giving way at this point in the race, and the super softs of Lord Jord start to come into their own. Dougie Aframan not using the slipstream of Lord Jord down that. Ooh, Testameister getting a bit wild on the throttle pedal there, going a little bit sideways. Now what's Murcielago going to make of that? Going to follow him close through the chicane. We'll have to run for the hairpin. Going for the inside, forced to the outside. Anything doing, going to get a switchback. Tries his utmost. Nothing on it for Murcielago there. He'll have DRS, but I don't think he's going to be close enough come the chicane, so he'll have to line up a move from the chicane to get the DRS juice down into turn one. But forced to the outside, nothing doing there. Dougie Aframan, meanwhile, pits, as does Ragnar. So these guys come into the pits, get serviced, and these one-stoppers make their strategies begin, and we'll see where they get involved in this fight. Dougie Aframan getting very involved with Callum Spencer. Going to be a close battle between them two. Callum Spencer has damage as well, so advantage for Dougie with new tyres and a non-damaged front wing compared to worn ultras and a damaged front wing for the pole sitter. Through Sector 2 we come. You can see the understeer having an effect on the Force India. How hard will the Force India fight this, I wonder? Because all signs are pointing to the Sauber, and the position goes to the Sauber, albeit with a bit of a corner cut, but a good effort from Dougie Aframan, and good thinking, I think, by Callum Spencer to let him through. He could try follow Dougie Aframan now and see if that can keep him away from Ragnar, because Ragnar's going to close a lot either way. So the Force India could just follow the Sauber on the new tyres and see what he can do. Callum Spencer does pit anyway, so that might explain why he let him through also. Looks like his front wing damage Too much to bear. New front wing in the wings. And super soft tyres go on for the Force India. And away goes Callum Spencer. All the way in last now. We've got some work to do, but of course we've still got some guys yet to pit. And some guys might need to convert to a 2-stop as well. Track becoming a bit foggy. But the smallest gap is 1.1, which is Anel and Lorjord. So, Danny Bin Lahar leads after a really well done undercut. Chazza second. Nibbler third. Now, Danny definitely on a 2-stop, I think. If he can make these tyres last to the end, I will be impressed. But Lorjord now comes into pit lane and picks up another 5-second stop go. Just can't seem to slow his car down enough. He seems to pick up a 5-second stop go for speeding almost every week. And it always ruins his race when he's in a good position. Now, Dougie Aframan was with Lorjord. Now, this is an interesting battle because it looks like Dougie Aframan has almost cleaned out here. Where is Lorjord in relation to Dougie? No, Dougie Aframan has pulled off a worldie. And Lorjord's actually going to come out battling with Ragnar. So this is going to be an interesting battle. Down to turn 2 we go. I'm sorry, turn 3. Ragnar has the inside line, has the advantage. We'll take P9 away from Ragnar. Beamer Black in pits from McLaren. New set of Ultra Softs for him. Lorjord has fresh tyres, so he might be able to put some pressure on Ragnar. Anel Tanovic, by the way, I think has passed Kevin Jacobs. No, sorry, Lorjord pitted, and that's who he was behind. He's been released into P4. The gap is under a 10th for Lorjord. Under a 10th, over a second, sorry. We should bring him in. Nothing doing on this occasion. It looks like he is too far back, even with the RS. Murcielago comes into the pits, however. Gap is a second between Chazza and Danny Bin Lahar. Chazza's been closing for the last few laps and has found himself. Danny's tyres starting to wear off and bring him into the clutches of Chazza. So into the hairpin. Now, will Chazza have DRS? Because he can considerably close the gap if he does. Do we hear the beep? We didn't hear the beep, but we saw the DRS flap get open and visual confirmation. So it is DRS for Chazza, which is going to help him start decreasing this gap. If he doesn't put it in the wall of champions, of course. Down to turn 1 goes Chazza. Brings the gap to just about half a second. Very close racing now for the lead. Anel Tanovic makes his first stop. That'll be interesting to see where he comes out, of course. He should come out around Dougie Aframan and Ragnar. So we'll have to see how well that works out for him. But there's also a battle for the lead going on. It's a shame we don't have more than one set of eyeballs. And it's a front wing change for Anel Tanovic. So that's going to confirm these guys get past him. Nightmarish stuff for Anel Tanovic. So he's picked up damage somewhere, and that's cost him in the pit stop. However, Chazza, really good run on Danny Bin Lahar now. Really looking to take the lead back at this Grand Prix. Danny defending with all his might. Tyres are crying for mercy, though. And you'd say it's all over for Danny in terms of this battle. Let's see how it plays out. Down the back straight. Chazza closing. Goes to the inside. Doesn't have the brakes to do it, but Danny opts to pit anyway. And Danny picks up a 5-second stop go. That will effectively take him out of the race for the lead. Such a small mistake with huge consequences. Game, set, and match. Could be Ferrari 1-2 due to that mistake from Danny. Meanwhile, Kevin Jacobs going at it with Testomeister, who cuts the corner there to make the position. So that's interesting. Meanwhile, Kevin Jacobs is still within range to do something about it here. Nothing doing in turn 1. Lorjord has passed Dougie Aframan. But what can Dougie Aframan do into turn 1? Is he going to go down the inside? No, he's not. So good drive by Lorjord to get up into P7. because he came out a good couple of seconds behind Dougie Aframan. So he's definitely been working at that gap and has made the move. So looking around, it's Kevin Jacob is the closest gap, and Dougie Anderson. Those are the two closest gaps of the race. Oh, speaking of the devil, Douglas goes into the wall. It looks like he gets away with no damage, but he doesn't want to risk that too many times. Now, these guys should be coming on the back straight, and they are very close coming for the back straight. Kevin Jacobs not ready to give up P4 without a fight. Now, DRS will be in his favour. And he's going to be closer than I've seen in a while. Anel Tanovic is out of the Grand Prix. What happened to Anel Tanovic? We can't see. Oh, was that him there? I think Anel Tanovic is in the wall in the chicane, yeah. We see the yellow flags here, and you can see the McLaren's just spun, hit the wall, and is out. Unless it's a manual retirement, and that's where he's pulled over. It's all gone wrong. Testermeister pits now as well. But it very much looks like the McLaren has spun out. And a promising result for Anel Tanovic goes down the fryer. And that's another interesting aspect of this race. Effectively removed Galactic Skull 2 pits for ultra soft tyres now. Where's he going to come out with Beamer Black? This might be a close battle to watch. Riding on board with Beamer Black, of course. The pit lane exit gives you a better run. And he just comes out ahead of Galactic Skull 2. So Chazza leads comfortably from Niblo. Good effort by Chazza. Really the first time this season he's... of course, apart from Monaco, of course. But we never really got to see that battle in Monaco. But in terms of dueling on track, I think this is the first real time we've seen Chazza really outshine the Australians. So great effort from Chazza here at Canada so far. Of course, not over for 12 laps yet. Anything can happen, but so far it looks good. Meanwhile, Testermeister closing in with DRS for Murcielago, looking to the inside. Anything. Good run though. Good run out the chicane. Going to pull to the inside. Looks like it's advantage Tester. Anything Murcielago can do about it? No, not when he's on the grass. What was that? I'm just reviewing that on the replay of my stream. He, that looked like lag. It looked like a lot of lag was involved in that incident. Yeah, it looked like maybe on Murcielago's screen, Testermeister hit him. But very much a lag aspect there. You could see the car turned so unnaturally. It was like the four-wheelers from Fast and Furious, where all four tyres could turn at once. It was definitely lag. It was definitely not a legitimate accident, I don't think, just because of how quick he turned. Lag involved in that one for sure. Count Spencer closing up on Murcielago now after that incident, of course. It's the one problem we have with sim racing with online connections. You get little gremlins such as lag, which come in and play me a Count Spencer. Really on the back of Murcielago now. Closing. Goes to the inside. But Murcielago pits anyway. Probably to get that front wing changed. That's good news if you're being Blackbank. Is Galactic Skull 2 out as well? I don't see him anywhere. But I think Galactic Skull 2's out. We have lost the Sauber from this Grand Prix. No notification of a DNF. Really not sure what happened there then to Galactic Skull 2. Maybe a manual retirement perhaps. Not sure. Ragnar though has closed up on Kevin Jacobs. Really good run. Kevin fighting it with all his might. These two have been at it all day. Ragnar on the inside has DRS to help him with the move. What does Kevin Jacobs have to offer on the outside? Not much. Not much he can really do against DRS apart from try to get the better run out of the two, which he does. But of course Ragnar gets two DRSs in one because the detection zone is the same for both points. So he tried his best there. If he had DRS, he would have got that position back. Unfortunately, that's just not the way it works at Canada. So, looking for more gaps is 1.1, 0.9. So when Kevin and Ragnar that is still the smallest gap. Murcielago and Beamer Black have traded places after that pit stop. So Beamer Black did pinch him out the pits. So, through the chicane. A little bit of a cut for Kevin Jacobs, but we'll gloss over that. He's now losing time to Ragnar. Gaps are pretty big right now. Not much we can really do. So Galactic 2 did crash out. He slid into a wall and lost his wheel. Unfortunate. Meanwhile, very good run for Murcielago. Looks to be going, ooh, and was never going to fit down there. Super late reactions to dart to the outside of the best time. Really good reactions from Murcielago. Going to the inside now. Going to be a tough one to make in this corner, and Beamer Black just cuts the corner completely. Gets a penalty for it, rightly so, because he's massively gained on Murcielago then. Beamer Black will feel like he was shoved off, but does rightly get a penalty. DRS up for Murcielago going down the back straight. Is he interested? Pulling, looks to the inside. Now we'll get the move done, but Murcielago under pressure a little bit from Beamer Black because he's trying to do the switchback. Murcielago goes get the second bite of the cherry with the DRS 2 though. Anywhere to go with it? Ooh, he wanted to. Nothing doing there. Lord Jordan, Dougie Afroman are getting very close for company. So it's Lord Jordan, Kevin Jacobs. So Kevin Jacobs has really fallen off these last couple of laps. I wonder if he's going for a very long strategy. Let's just clarify that he has pitted. Kevin Jacobs hasn't pitted, so he's done 27 laps on these tyres, and they are crying, enough is enough, Kevin. Oh, big corner cut for Lord John. That'll be a warning, at least. Kevin Jacobs' tyres very much reaching the cliff at this stage of the Grand Prix. He needs to get in and get them off, I think, because the tyres are just crying enough. As he loses another position, just didn't have any grip to defend there with. And it's a matter of time before he has to try defend against the Sauber too. I'm not sure what strategy Kevin's on here. Very bizarre to do 27 laps on the Super Softs. Unless he's trying to go for some Hyper Softs to the end. But if he wants them Hyper Softs to last, we was looking at about 6 laps. So at the most, he'll be looking to pit on lap 29 at the earliest if he's going for Hyper Softs. If he's going for Ultras, he could get away with pitting now, but you could just see how much the Sauber has gained on him in this lap alone. It's gained over a second. He just doesn't have the traction to fight against these guys. You'll see the traction difference between the Sauber and the Haas as we go down the back straight. See, he's closing, pulls to the inside, now to the outside. DRS around the outside. Braking heavy, got the outside line as Dougie Afroman, but nowhere doing it. It was always going to be tricky to go around the outside and turn to the inside. We see that move sometimes in slower disciplines around Montreal. We've never seen it well, we have seen it a few times, but it's very rare we see it in a caliber like Formula One. So, Dougie Afroman slips back, rethinks his strategy to go for round 2 against his former teammate in other series. 2 have raced together, of course, in the past. Know each other's tricks, and that could be why Kevin Jacobs was able to defend more. He's done it before. But bringing him into play more and more. Callum Spencer, Testameister closing in on this battle. The more these guys do battle, both of those guys behind start closing. Beamer Black loses a position to Murcielago in the meantime, and we'll look to get that back. So Dougie Afroman then. Next attempt, we'll have DRS. We'll look to be past Kevin before we even get to the chicane. That'd be the best thing for him, and it looks like that is very much the case. But Kevin, super late brakes to go in the pit lane. And lap 29, like we said, looking like it could be Hypersofts then for Kevin Jacobs. 6 laps of what we saw people got out of the Hypersofts when they were on them. What's Kevin going to do? And they are the bright pink chewing gum looking tyres, and it's a front wing change as well for Kevin. So it's going to be a long stop that sends him all the way back. But this guy's going to be lightning quick on those tyres for the final 6 laps. We'll see if he's able to close back in on Callum Spencer and pass him. Chaza has just lapped. Danny Bin Lahar has closed in on Niblo again. Great pace from Danny this race to challenge the Ferraris. DRS, really effective for Danny here. Is he going to pull to the inside? Is he going to send it? No, he's not. He's just going to try and scare Nibbler into getting the chicane wrong like that. And now he has a second opportunity to go for it down the inside of turn 1. It's going to be tough. They bang wheels. Danny up the inside. Nibbler forced off the track. Cuts the grass. Hits Danny Ibn Lahar as a result. It's getting rough. And the gloves are off. Danny Ibn Lahar up into second. Not sure who was at fault there. But it is very much Danny Bin Lahar in second right now. Nibbler still has an opportunity to do something about it. It's hard to call. It looked like Nibbler was pushed off, came back on, made the contact, and then just didn't have the traction to defend when all was said and done. I mean, the move was completed on the track. The contact probably didn't help either of them, so, I mean, tough call, but I think it's no harm, no foul. But Nibbler will try his best to close back in with 5 laps left to go. Chaza doing a stellar job. We'll start lap 31 on the Grand Prix. Nibbler demolishes that braking board on the inside there. Scrapes the wall of champions too. Flirting with danger, the Australian. Using all the track and a bit more to try and get the position back from Danny. Danny pushing hard too, though. Pulling away through the first sector. Still very much in play. This is the smallest gap we have on track. Keeping an eye on the Kevin Jacobs gap as well. He is on the Hypersauce. He's got 13 seconds to find in 4 laps. It's going to be really tough to see how them Hypersauce treat him. If he can do it or not. Remains to be seen. Into the hairpin then. And Nibbler will get another opportunity then with DRS. Heading for the back straight. In the slipstream. We'll use a bit of ERS. We'll use a bit of DRS. Danny has more ERS at this stage of the Grand Prix. Nibbler using it all he can. Now, Danny using the slipstream of Beamer Black there, who just keeps out of the fight to try help himself minimise the advantage of DRS for the car behind. Testameister is on Dougie Aframan. These guys made contact in the closing stages of Monaco. Will they make contact again? Let's find out. Dougie Aframan P6, Testameister P7, goes up the inside with such a run that Dougie Aframan really didn't have much to say about it, to be honest. And the move's done, and Testameister's gone. That was probably the easiest move we've seen all race. Seppi just pushed too hard. Yeah, we saw him go into the wall of champions. He's in the chat explaining that. Unfortunate for his first race back in NORL, but it is Canada, and we've seen so many incidents at that very same corner. It's definitely a tricky track. Doesn't look like it. You'd be forgiven for thinking it was an easy track, but it is not. It has got hidden dangers everywhere. Now Nibbler, closer than he's been in a long time, gets DRS. And is he going to send it up the inside of Danny Bin Lahar? Yes, he is. He's Australian, of course he is. And it's role reversal. And this time Danny hits Nibbler, and Nibbler gets spun around. Ooh, hard to call again. Literally the same as what happened the last time these guys did battle. Nibbler's now 7 seconds behind. I can't call that one. I'm just not going to say anything and let the stewards decide that, because that's too hard to call. But without seeing replays, I really can't tell. I'd have to see quite a few replays of that. We caught a very awkward angle of it, but it's literally what happened the last time. But Nibbler was a little bit further ahead when he made the contact. So instead of, like Danny hit Nibbler's side pod, instead of that happening, he hit Nibbler's rear axle, and just went around as you'd expect, and that's his challenge for second over and done with. Dougie Aframan is then the next one closing down, trying to close down. Testameister's closing in on Lord Jord as well, who's in a top 5 position. Of course, Lord Jord, 5-second time penalty. Danny actually has a 5-second time penalty as well. So that, actually, now I remember, could help Danny keep his second. So Danny needs 5 seconds on Nibbler. Nibbler needs to get his gap below 5 seconds, and he will get the position on penalties. So down the straight we go, riding on board with Testameister. Where does he brake? How late does he brake? Just after the 100-meter board. Flips both the corners nicely and finds 2 tenths through that chicane on Lord Jord. Dougie Aframan did find time on Testameister as well, so that battle's not over and done just yet. Oh, especially if Testameister does that. Goes wide into the wall. The blood red. Alfa Romeo would have seen that and will smell blood and look to chase him down. Gap under a second then. The Sauber shot at redemption is right in front of him. He'll close in on the Renault. DRS open. But the Sauber helps him close in into the chicane. Needs to get a good run out of here for the hairpin. Kind of average runs from either of them. So we head to the hairpin. Get laid on the brakes. Now, down the back straight, Dougie Aframan will get DRS not once but twice. Now he can use the first one to close the gap, get in the slipstream, close it as much as he can, and then if he can get a really good run, he'll have a really good opportunity going into turn 1. Oh, Testameister's in the wall, lost a little bit of front wing. Chaz has started his final lap. So this will be a last lap battle between Sauber and Renault. And it'll be close. Testameister has considerable front wing damage now. So very much an advantage for Dougie Aframan. Cuts to corner, looking not to get a penalty, but does hit the other wall as well. Very scruffy final lap Testameister. And in honesty, there's just been a scruffy race in general. Dougie Aframan looked to go around the outside, nothing doing. Tries to set himself up for a good run with DRS into the chicane. Testameister goes ultra defensive as much as he dared. Chaza, by the way, wins the race. Great effort from him. Danny Bin Lahar will take second, and with that 5-second penalty, will hold on to it. Meanwhile, these guys still going at it. Looking for something, anything. Nibbler will get P3, but we've still got this battle still going on in the final lap. Dougie Aframan sets him up, Testameister goes super wide, and that's going to bring Dougie Aframan into play. Dougie Aframan doesn't quite get the launch he needed, but very much in a position here to take away P6 from Testameister. DRS up, but Testameister goes defensive. Dougie Aframan pulls to the outside line. Testameister squeezing. Dougie Aframan trying to go all the way around the outside. Nothing doing. Shoved off the track, forced to cut the chicane. And that is all against set a match. However, Testameister will take P5. Dougie Aframan will take P6 because Lord Jord didn't serve his 5-second penalty. Callum Spence will come across the line in P8. Kevin Jacobs couldn't make that Hypersoft strategy work and goes to finish P9. Murcielago P10. Beamer Black P11, and the only man not to score a point out of the finishers. And there you go. Chaza wins then from Danny Bin Lahar and Nibbler. Reasonably busy day coming up in the stewards, I'd say, tomorrow for the NORL organisation. But we'll see how they do. And what decisions are made for next time out in round 8. So here are your finishing positions after that hectic race, and Chaza wins from Danny Bin Lahar. Of course, Danny served that penalty after the collision. Nibbler couldn't close in for 5 seconds. Ragnar picked up a 3-second as well, but was further enough ahead to not do anything with it. Testameister gets P5, Dougie Aframan P6. Lord Jord P7 after 7 that penalty. Callum Spencer falls from pole all the way down to 8th. Kevin Jacobs goes from P14th to 9th. Could have quite made the final stint on the Hypersauce work for him. Murcielago P10, Beamer Black P11, and Galatsko 2, and Altanovic and Seppi all crash out, as well as Defstez early in the race, and they all do not finish. So next time, round 8, we will head on out. Of course, on Wednesdays, you can catch us for round 8 as well of the FIA GT3 series. If not, we'll see you again on Sunday. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.